Welcome back, folks, with Derek and I on the Blazing Confused channel.
Yeah, we're back.
Back again. Second video. Things going really well for us on this. How's your week been?
It's been kind of crazy. Before I even get into any of that, I want to say thank you to everybody that watched the first video. Thanks for the comments and the likes and subscribes and all that. Especially the comments, they've been constructive. One of them was, we needed more lighting, so we have more lighting now.
So yeah, hopefully everybody can tell the difference. Yeah. We're still working on the logistics of adjusting it, but
yeah, we'll get there. But I did shave for the occasion because someone told me I have a face for radio and a voice for silent film. I can't do anything about the voice, but we may get a voice modulator at some point and work some of those kinks out. But yeah, I'm showered and shaved.
That's how I'm showered.
You're welcome.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Talking about the voice.
Mm-hmm.
I hate my voice on camera.
Yeah.
Can't stand to listen to it.
Yeah.
And the videos that I've done prior to this, I've edited very little, and I've never watched a single one.
Yeah.
This one, changing angles and stuff, I'm having to listen to myself even more.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get used to it a little bit. The other project we're doing with the guys in the studio, it was the same for me. I didn't like hearing my voice. But the more I listened to it, we've done 8 sessions so far, and I've listened to all of them at least once, some of them twice.
Oh, see.
So you kind of get used to it.
I haven't listened to a single
one
of those yet.
Oh, they're great.
But I bet. I can't wait till those get released.
No.
It's either going to make us or break us, I think. But with doing it down there, it's just audio. So I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And this is audio and visual.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, crap. So I've learned a lot. Like I fidget. I'm a hand person. I didn't realize that until I watched videos. Yeah. But I feel more comfortable now. Like the first one we did, you can tell I was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I did it with Jessica, I was a little bit more comfortable. And then today it is working.
Yeah.
It is working.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
We'll get there. Yeah.
So.
Now I did have some weird stuff happen, not this last week, but last weekend. And you told me to wait to tell you about it until we got in here.
Yes.
And I'll get to that. But first, on the way over here, I had to stop for gas. I texted you and told you I was going to stop for gas. And it's in the 30s. It's kind of chilly. It's cold. So I get out and I'm at the gas pump, and you've got the interface there, and you've got the screen, and you have to do all the rigmarole to get the pump to actually give you the gas you're paying for. But I put in my card, and then it locks my card in, and it says enter your PIN. So I entered my PIN. And then it's like, okay, it says, do you want to join our rewards program? And I'm like, no, thank you. I'm not a rewards. I don't want to put in my number. I don't want to join right now. It's cold. I want my gas. And so I put that in. And then it's like, how about a beverage? And I'm like, no, I don't want a beverage. I'm good. I'm not thirsty. I'm cold, and I need gas so I can leave this place. And so, I tell it no. And then it's, how's your mom doing? I want my gas. That's all. And maybe I'm just old, but
no, me and Jessica bitch about that all the time. It's just like, have you gotten gas at the Sam's Club gas?
It's been a while.
Oh my God, it takes forever.
Yeah.
It's just like waiting. Do you want this? No. And then when you pump gas, it's the slowest damn pump ever.
Yeah.
I mean, you're 10 minutes there trying to get a tank of gas.
This one was like that too. After I had a 30-minute conversation with the computer, it said, okay, choose what kind of gas you want, and I did. And then it said fueling, and then I'm standing there and I'm squeezing the trigger like 5 times before it starts and lets me. Apparently the pumps have to warm up first.
That's right.
So that's that.
I think everybody can relate. To that situation.
Yeah. But so I was a little late getting here, But I made it, and I have gas in my car, so that's good. And you usually don't have gas in your car when you get in it.
I do not. My wife is notorious for the low fuel light. And I always post it on Facebook as a fun little thing.
Yep.
And there's times where I'm like, I'm not going to get gas. I'm going to force her to get gas. And I'll be damned if she does not coast into her driveway, still on low fuel, and be like, hey, we need to go to the store. Yeah. And I get in, low fuel, pumping it again. Yeah. We have the hardest working fuel pump in our area, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
No, it's been a decent week for us.
Good.
Yesterday we got to babysit our grandson.
Yeah.
For a few hours while Hannah and Dylan went out, so that was very fun. We love doing that. We have to live vicariously through your crazy week.
Yeah.
So
craziness.
Other than that, everything's been great. Today we're going to talk paranormal, and I've lived in this house. We bought it brand new. We lived here 10 years, and it's a short amount of time after my dad had passed away, we started having weird occurrences here, even to this day. Nothing bad, nothing totally crazy. But Derek has had some paranormal stuff in his house. Mm-hmm. And he has a story to tell us, and he tried to tell me the other day, and I told him, I said, don't tell me because I want to hear it for the first time with you guys. So
yeah,
I have no idea what he's going to say about it, but if you want to start with like a backstory. And
we've been in the house we're in now for about I want to say around 15 years. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but nothing out of the ordinary. We didn't even notice anything for a while, and then little by little we started noticing some odd things happening here and there in the house. It seems to be centered around the hallway of the house. Now, from the kitchen, there's a window that faces the main road, and you can tell when a car passes by because you do see lights move on that wall during the day, kind of the reflection of the cars going by. But at night, and when there's not any cars going by, the way we sit in the living room, I'll sit on a couch facing away from the hallway, but it's in my peripheral vision. And I'm always seeing something moving in my peripheral vision in that hallway. There was an occasion where it happened at the same time. Tiff was in the bedroom and I was in the living room, and I thought I saw out of the corner of my eye a large shadow figure, and it was striking to me because it was very tall. But of course when I looked over, there was nothing there, so you kind of shrug things like that off. Well, a day or two later, Tiff's talking about how that night she thought she saw a large shadow figure in the hallway from where she was in the bedroom. So that kind of correlated. But a lot of odd things. In fact, when we talked last time, we mentioned our investigation at the Beaver Lodge. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At that time, you were in a different house. But after the investigation and after we had taken a week or so to go through the evidence that we had gathered, reviewing audio and what little bit of video we had, we got together at your house to go over it with each other. Mm-hmm. and talk about our findings. While we were together at your house going over everything, Tiff texted me and had noticed the distinct smell of cigarette smoke in the hallway, and it's happened a few times since then, but that's the first time that's ever happened. And during that investigation, we had used the previous owner's
pack of cigarettes
as a trigger object.
Yes.
To see if we could get anything to happen.
So your hallway, I'll add that I went over to Derek's house and we're outside having a cigar, just shooting the shit. I had to go to the bathroom. And so I go, that's one of the first times I've been in that hallway. and went to the bathroom and came back out. And I remember telling you, it was like, dude, there's something off with your hallway.
Yeah.
Like, something does not add up
Yeah.
in your hallway. And I even sensed something. And it was nothing evil. It was nothing scary. But it was like, there's something lurking in this little section of your house that...
Yeah, it's odd. It's strange. And we don't necessarily want to stir anything up in the house.
Right.
So we've refrained from actually doing an investigation there. It may come at some point, but it's one of those. It has one of those light setups where there's a switch at the end, either end of the hallway, and you throw a switch on one end, the lights will come on, and you can throw a switch on the other end and control the lights as well.
Right.
And there was one morning where I was in one of the rooms just off of the hallway, and there was no one in the hallway, and the lights switched off. That's only happened that one time, but we've had a lamp in the bathroom off that hallway turn off before. We see a lot of things moving out of the corner of our eye. On 2 separate occasions, I've seen what I thought was a member of the family just coming through like normal, and then a minute or two later that person will actually come through the room from the hallway. So it seems like there might be something there that might possibly mimic people, which is really strange when you think you visually see somebody walk by.
Right. Yeah.
And then a little bit later they actually walk by. It's a little unsettling. And that kind of ties into what happened last weekend. Last time when we recorded, we mentioned our trip to the Spook Light, and it was you, me, Steve, and our friend Daryl. Daryl was over at the house last Saturday, and he and my son and I were at the kitchen table, and we each had some Legos, and we were just building Legos and hanging out. We'd been doing it a couple of hours. Tiff was in the back bedroom, and she had shut the door for some reason. I don't know, I don't recall why, but we're basically on opposite ends of the house, and we're sitting at the table, and we're putting Legos together. And we do have 3 cats. We used to have a dog, but the dog was old and had to be put down a couple of years back.
Great dog.
He was a good dog. He was about 16 years old. His name was Ruprecht. We called him Roop. But we're sitting at the table, and a couple of the cats are in the kitchen floor, and all of a sudden we hear woof, and it struck us both. At that point, Benjamin wasn't in the kitchen. He was in the other room with Tiff. But Daryl and I both looked up at each other, and I looked at Daryl and I said, that sounded like a dog. And Daryl said, that sounded like Roop.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, you're right. And I realized at that point when we heard it, it gave us both, we talked about this, and it gave us both a feeling, a sense of familiarity. Like that was Roop. That was a noise he would make if he brought a toy to you and wanted you to play.
Oh,
he would just be kind of like, well, play with me. And I got up and I looked. One cat was on one end of the kitchen, and the other cat was several feet away, and they were just sitting there, and they were kind of looking at a space in between them. But it was odd, and it was striking, and we both heard it and both thought the same thing. So that was kind of strange. And I went to the other bedroom, and I told Tiffany and Benjamin about it. And it was just one of those odd things,
Right.
Weird things happen in that house from time to time. It's not crazy active, but every few months something odd will happen.
Something surfaces, yes.
So a little bit later, Benjamin comes back to the table and starts building Legos with us again, and we're all sitting there. We're having a good time. It was kind of odd, but we went on. Nothing else happened. And then I hear from the back bedroom, I hear Tiff go, "Hey, Derek," which is the tone that she uses when she wants me to come and look at something either on her phone or she needs me to take care of something. It's common, and so
I think I know where you're going with this.
So I get up. You know, I have to wear my reading glasses now when I build Legos. But I get up, I take my reading glasses off and set them down on the table, and I go to the back bedroom, and I open the door and I said, "Did you need something?" And she said, "No." And I said, "I could have sworn you just called my name." She said, "I didn't say a word. I've been watching my phone." And the door was shut, so I couldn't hear her phone. We didn't have any electronics on at the time because I'd fussed at Benjamin to turn his off because it was annoying me. And so I come back to the kitchen and I sat down and I said, "I could have sworn I heard Tiff call my name and call me back there." And Daryl said, "Yeah, I did too." And Benjamin said, "Yeah, I heard her." And so all three of us heard her.
Wow.
It wasn't an isolated thing. And you know, I've heard things like growing up and having moved out, I'll hear a family member say my name, you know,
Right.
like my mom or my grandmother or something like that. It's just like a weird thing. And it's got to be just like a memory glitch or, you know, I thought I heard it. But all three of us heard this. And it didn't happen.
Wow.
So that was one evening where within the span of maybe an hour, hour and a half, we had two very odd things happen in the house.
That's what gets me is how the cats were looking in the same area.
Yeah.
Because like Dodger with us, he'll do that.
Uh-huh.
And Harold stand up and nobody be in there.
Yeah.
But dude, that's kind of scary if it's mimicking
It's weird. Yeah. I've seen
Tiffany's voice.
Yeah, and there was a time in the past where, you know, it was early morning, and one of the cats had gotten sick. So I'm in the floor scrubbing the carpet, cleaning it, and Tiff, she had woken me up because she noticed it, and she went to the bathroom in the hall. And when she did, she shut the bedroom door because she didn't want the cats to go in there and get sick on the bed or whatever. So she did that to just keep them out. Well, while I'm in the floor scrubbing it, just out of the corner of my eye, and I'm right by the hallway is where it's at. It's right where you walk into the hallway.
Right.
So I'm right near the bedroom door. She goes back into the bedroom, and then I realize I didn't hear her open the door. And so I look, and the bedroom door is still closed. And then about that time, she comes out of the bathroom and goes back to the bedroom.
Jeez.
So that was one time where I know I saw her go into the room.
Right.
Unless I was just imagining her go into the room, which is entirely possible. But that was one where it was purely visual. Here we had something, you know, auditory that, you know, I'd never experienced a weird noise like that.
Right.
You know,
right.
other than normal house noises. So things get weird from time to time.
They do. There's no doubt there's something weird in that house.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The other time we had any kind of an odd mimic situation, it was years ago because Zoe was still young, and we were sitting on the couches watching TV, and you know, I didn't even look because it's such a common occurrence, but Zoe comes through and walks behind the couch and goes on to the kitchen. Didn't think anything of it. And then, but she didn't come out of the kitchen. And it was about 5 or 10 minutes, and Tiff goes, "Didn't Zoe just walk by and go into the kitchen?" I said, "Yeah, I thought so." And then about that time, Zoe comes out of her bedroom and down the hall, and then walks by to go into the kitchen. And we just looked at each other like, okay, we both thought she
That's
walked by.
right. Wow.
So that was another case. Other than that, other than thinking I see motion in the hallway, which is very minor, you know,
Right.
those are the most impressive things that have happened in the house.
See, that's a lot more than what you're seeing in your house and what we see
Yeah, and
in ours.
And talk about some of the stuff you've noticed.
Oh, jeez. So, the most recent is the angels. Um, Shortly after my wife got diagnosed with cancer, some people had sent her these little figurines of angels. I don't know if it's the same person that sent them all or other people, but anyways, it started out with just 4 of them. We have 5 now, but there was 4 of them up there on the top shelf in our bedroom, and my wife has them facing a certain way, basically just all facing out. And one night, and this is probably a year ago when it first started, we're laying in bed, and she notices that the angels have 2 of them have moved, kind of facing each other. Thought that was weird. And she asked me if I dusted the shelf, and I told her no, but like I don't allow my
She should have known better, really.
Well, no, I do the dusting. I don't allow.
Oh, do you really?
I don't allow her to dust.
Yeah. See, Tip does all the dusting at the house. We would be coated in dust if it were up to me. I just wouldn't think about it.
Recently, I don't know if you noticed, that fan was full of dust.
Oh, okay.
Last week.
I didn't notice.
Jessica pointed out, and I just dusted it. I hate dust, but my thing is she doesn't put things back where they go in their order.
And you are meticulous about that.
Yes.
You notice if something has changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had friends come in and just move something slightly, and I find it fairly quickly. And so she doesn't dust. I do the dusting.
Yeah.
And so I haven't dusted that shelf at that point, and so we're kind of examining it and move the angels back to where they were, and it comes and it goes, and a few weeks later we notice they're turned again. And so that's what we're doing recently. So I'll back up a little bit. Shortly after my dad died, the TV in the living room would come on by itself. We've had the dishwasher. Our dishwasher had broke, and we didn't replace it immediately, but we had it propped open, so when you're working there in the kitchen, you're not hitting buttons or anything. So it's open. That means you can't press any buttons.
Yeah.
But the dishwasher came on with it still cracked open.
Ajar, yeah.
That's happened a few times. My son in his room, he would come in our room and be like, I swear something just flew across, just scooted across there. And we just sum it up to being my dad or grandpa. So he's at ease, with it. My wife and I both have seen, I don't want to say shadow figures, because I think there's a difference between a shadow figure and just seeing a shadow.
Yeah.
But something that goes across the living room into the kitchen that we see from our bedroom, door. But it happens so fast. It's not like when you think you see something, you turn, it's gone. Mm-hmm. It just happens so quick that by the time you turn it, it's going to be gone, know. So recently, with all this dealing with the angels, we've been watching it real close. And I'd say, just the other day, it turned again. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to figure out a camera, and I don't know if it's a rapid turn that would pick up like motion on a camera, because I don't want to watch 24 hours of footage every day to see, We did try to debunk it. We hit the shelf. My wife does have Kindle up there. We've moved it on and off, shifted it. We try to simulate Dodger, our dog's tail hitting it, and nothing moves. Yeah. Nothing moves at all.
Yeah. It would be interesting if you could get a camera and focus it on there.
It's not a little move. I mean, it's a big move.
And that would actually be easier to detect, and it wouldn't take as long because you could just fast forward. And if you fast forward through the footage as you're watching it, you probably see it move. Easier than just watching it in real time. I have a feeling if anything is moving them, even if it's something that can be explained, it's slight and minor, and it probably takes a while.
But what's weird about it is nothing. It's a 5-tier shelf. Mm-hmm. Nothing else on the shelves move. Yeah. We got lighter knickknacks and stuff on it. Nothing else
really light objects.
Yes. And it's primarily those middle two.
Yeah.
Every now and then the one on the far end will shift a little bit, but it's always the two, and they always end up facing each other.
Do you know, is it on a wall? Is it mounted on a wall?
It's not mounted on a wall.
Okay, it's just a shelf in front of a wall.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I wonder if there might be a pipe or anything in the wall that if there's any kind of a vibration or current there that might affect that shelf more than anything else?
I would say no,
Yeah.
because back when I was younger, I used to build houses,
Mm-hmm.
so I learned a bit about how they do the plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
And the plumbing, you got the bathroom over here, then you do have the laundry room, but the plumbing is going to come from that direction.
Yeah.
They're not going to run it like across.
Yeah, that's
house.
kind of a weird thing.
So
Yeah.
electricity, I mean, it's next to our TV stand. And that's where we have all of our, Wi-Fi and all that crap. So it could be higher electricity.
Yeah, there's some kind of static.
Something going there. I'll have to break out the EMF to check it.
Yeah, see if there's anything in that area, that shelf, because it could be explained. I don't know how an electrical current or even static from it might do it, but it's something to look into.
But why just those two?
Yeah.
That
is odd.
That's the interesting part of it. It's just, and after this video, keep watching just a little further after we sign off, because I'll give them a visual. I'll film in there. And,
oh yeah, cool.
And show them what we're talking about, and I'll physically move them with you seeing how they move.
Yeah.
But it happens at night.
Yeah.
It happens during the day. There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
And so we make a point every morning. We look at them every night before bed. We look at them.
Yeah.
Just to see. And there's been times we wake up and like, they're moved.
Yeah.
Or we'll leave for work. No one's in the house other than Dodger. But our dog got kind of debunked too, because we were watching our daughter's dog for a while. And he sheds a lot. And so we closed our bedroom door too. We didn't want him to shed all in our bed.
Yeah.
And even with the door shut and them not having access to that bedroom, they still moved. And it's not every day. And at one point it went months, like a few months with nothing. And then all of a sudden, boom, it starts happening again.
In the old days, I mean, I've been interested in everything unexplained, whether it's cryptids, UFOs, the paranormal, since I was real little. I mean, as soon as I could read, I was reading stuff about it. I was the weird kid in elementary school checking those books out.
Right.
So I know in early cases of poltergeist activity, especially, one of the explanations that folks would come to is running water. Like if there's an underground stream or a current, for some reason that could cause things to move. I never really dove into that to get the full explanation of how that works, but that was always a way to kind of write those things off. But if it were something like that, you would notice more than just two objects. The same two objects moving.
All this stuff. It's funny, we joke because the room that we're in now should be the room that holds any kind of haunts or anything, because all the memorabilia.
Yeah, this room is strange. You at some point you'll get a tour of this room. So we have to have a priest come in and bless us before and after we enter this room.
I do legit sage this room often enough.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of strange memorabilia in here. Some murder memorabilia, some gruesome stuff. Even the chairs that we're sitting in came from the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. If you look that up, it's supposed to be America's most haunted hotel, and that's what this picture is.
Yeah.
Is that these chairs that I got were in the Crystal Ball dining room. So if objects hold energy, these should hold some amount of energy, I would think.
I think the last episode we ever record, it's going to be like the end of The Shining, where you and I are in the picture sitting in the ballroom and we're not here anymore. So, yeah.
But I do, and I got a lot of crystals. I got a lot of, I got my Charles Manson autograph, which I haven't, it's in my closet. I haven't framed it completely yet, but there's a lot of weird stuff in this.
Yeah.
This room, a lot of collection of stuff.
And nothing ever moves in this room.
And nothing ever moves in this room. It just stays normal. So this is the room you would think.
Yeah.
That shit would hit the fan in, and so far nothing. I say that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check this. So yeah, we're experiencing stuff at our houses that we just thought we would share with you guys, and it's nothing. For me personally, I'm not gonna say it's haunted. It's creepy or it's just weird things that happen, and I know other people have experienced. If you've experienced anything weird, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We love to hear other people's stories on the unexplainable.
Yeah.
You know.
In fact, my cousin watched the video and immediately reached out, and he's like, "Oh, you should have seen my old apartment." You know, he had these, personal stories to share. I think he said he has some footage of stuff too, some recordings.
Oh, that would be cool.
So I'm gonna have to get with him and see what he has on hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do with this channel. We do our planning on when it gets warmer. I don't go out in the cold. I'm a bitch. I have no shame in saying it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Just like fishing. I love to fish this time of year. Don't do nothing. But we want to do some investigations. I want to do some roadside investigations. You know, there's so many places where so many people's died in car crashes in the same places, and I'm curious. You don't really see very many people doing that. Like, I want to discover a new haunted place, if that makes sense, or
Sure.
Something out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
From what people do. We've done houses before, and they're fun. There's just so much liability.
Yeah.
To it. And
Yeah.
these days you can't trust.
Yeah, I think unless it's someone we know fairly well,
Right.
We would be less inclined to do a home.
Things have changed a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But we want to check out, someday on our other podcasts. Sorry, it got weird. Watch for it. It's gonna come out soon.
It'll come out. And it'll be weird.
We've discussed some mysteries and some cold cases on there, and we want to go travel there and do a video, on that. So, yeah, if you have paranormal activity, let us know.
Yeah.
It being small or big or anything, we're definitely interested in hearing.
And that probably won't be what this particular channel will be all about. We'll just cover whatever we feel like covering at the time. But
just shooting the shit.
But that's definitely an interest of ours. It's somewhat of a passion of ours and has been. It's kind of where you and I clicked and
right.
Started really hanging out. So that it'll probably be a big part of this channel.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll reference it. Quite often.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it'll just be us shooting shit about our week or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for your support, watching.
Yep.
This is something we've been wanting to do for a very long time now, and we're doing it. And we'll just see where it goes. You know.
And I'm not sure when this will get posted. I had to reschedule with you from our usual recording time, so
it'll still get posted on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hell bent on keeping them on the schedule.
Yeah.
So Tuesdays will always be our vlog.
Yeah.
And then Thursdays will be the one with Jessica and I, my wife and I, talking about cancer. However, there's times where if Derek can't make it, I'll have a substitute in here just so we can keep dropping the videos every Tuesday.
Yeah.
So.
I do want to see how Jessica portrays me if I'm not here. If she's filling in for me.
Oh man, you just open up a can of worms because this could be great.
I know. I bet it's amazing.
I'm gonna have. She doesn't have much hair because of treatments, but I can get her a Derek made wig.
Yeah. Well, we got the lighting. I think makeup and wardrobe is coming next.
Yes.
And so,
I'll get her a Bigfoot shirt to match. What she would. Oh, we can pull this off.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks for the comments again. Keep watching, and if you've got any constructive criticism, throw it our way. We're happy to hear it, and we want to learn and grow from this. So, thank you very much.
Yep. See you guys next week. Stay tuned just a little bit longer, because I am going to show the angels, do a little clip on that and show you what that's about so you can kind of have a visual. But yeah, peace out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, these are the angels that we were talking about in the video. This one here, my wife has had for a long time. We just added to the shelf not long ago. But these four here were gifts to her after she got diagnosed with cancer. And this one here has moved a little bit because we normally have them facing straight out like that. But it's this one that'll shift that way, and this one will shift that way and then facing each other. This one every now and then will kind of turn that way. Doesn't happen every day, doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it does. And nothing else on our shelves move. It's just these. So we got them all facing the way we want them, and we'll see what happens in the next few days. But these are the angels that just move on its own.